Hello, Jollies. Hope you're well. I'm Navi, an adult dog collector. Welcome to my channel, From Reroots. So today we are already in the rebooting table because I said I was going to do a mock-up reroot of the reroot that I've done previously. I had finished and I was editing the video already, and then my phone got stolen, so I lost that video. So today we're going to do a mock-up of it. So I've got a Millie here. She has the exact same root pattern where the parting is and everything. So we are going to get this Saran factory hair off, and we're going to do the reroot with 2-tone Kanekalon hair. So got a light blonde, which is fairly similar to what she already has, and then I have a golden blonde here. Let's just pop that so it's slightly darker. It's not a massive change, but it does put a tiny bit of dimension onto the hair. So let's get started. Now I'm going to do this as I normally do, but I am going to do a couple of step-by-steps. So I'm going to cut the hair as close to the scalp as possible. And I mentioned in my Midge video that someone had commented on my Ken doll reroots that I did previously, and I said it was David. It wasn't David, so I do apologize. It was Adam. So Adam, this one is for you. I do apologize. I am absolutely terrible with names, and often when people tell me their name, it goes within seconds. I am not able to retain people's names in my foggy brain. So I do apologize for that. It is Adam that mentioned that he would like me to show how I do the parting. And I'm pretty sure I've shown you Jolly Dollies how I do my partings, but for all terms and purposes, I'm more than happy to do it once again, as close to the scalp as possible. This is almost like how I REROOT 2.0. So once you get as close to the roots as possibly, some people actually use like a little clipper to do that, but I don't do it. So now that the hair is off, I will go in with my cuticle pushers and I just scrape the hair off the doll's scalp from the inside. It's a bit of time, and do be careful when you're doing this because sometimes the head can split. The vinyl can be quite tough sometimes, and especially where the parting is, sometimes the hair is crisscrossed, so do be careful with that. So when I get to the parting, I'm always careful. So I do take my time. I try not to force too much into it. I just work around as much as I possibly can, taking care around the hairline because sometimes it can split. See how the hair is pulling down because they do pack a lot of hair in the hairline, and sometimes it's good to just go in with your scissors in between just so the hair loosens up a bit, and then it's easier to pull. Like so. And to do those are the little plugs that are inside the doll's hair. and if you shake it, they come off quite easily. Now, or tweezers, and just pluck it out. Like so. You'll just go in and just remove the hair. But with these little bits nowadays, it's a lot easier for them to just come off. How cool is that? Yeah, so they use glue. So I will separate a piece, about that much hair. In, and I will knot. I'll find the center, I knot it, and that's my plugs. And then I just do that. Normally I prep my hair in advance. I'll just sit here with the film on and just prep my plugs, so then they end up looking like this. So that's the light color, is the darker color. My hair is prepped and I clear my workstation. I can then grab my rebooting tool and start plugging away. Rebooting tool, which is just almost look like a pen, and then we have the needle that's been cut where the hole for the thread goes at an angle. Not sure if that's visible, but that is what's going to allow us to get a plug and just, I normally start in the middle of the hairline and then I go in there. So I'm starting with the light hair, go and I find a hole that I want. This is not as easy to do on camera, and then push it in. So that's my first plug, and now I'm going to shut up. I'm going to do the hairline. I always do the hairline first, and then I do half of a side, and then I do the other side, and I do the parting in the very last to complete it. So this video isn't longer than it needs to be. That's what I do. So I'm going to start plugging away at, sometimes if you do see this on my videos where I push my rebooting tool and I pull it, it's because I'm creating new holes in between the ones. Like here, there's a bit too much space. In the back, I don't particularly mind. I normally do it more if there's a lot of spaces. For example, there is one just here, but I would like another hole. So I insert another one, and I'm going to do the same right here. Try and avoid, don't get it too close to your factory parting holes, because then that can split. So I go around, and I will eventually just do a whole row of new holes wherever they may be needed, because that will help thicken under the parting, so the hair is not as so the parting is seamless, if that makes sense. So I'm going to shut up, I'm going to go on mute, I'm going to put a series on. I'm currently rewatching Charmed. I love Charmed, so I'm going to carry on. If there's anything that needs to be highlighted, I will highlight in the video, but I'm going to mainly focus again on the parting, so you guys know exactly how I do my thatching of my parting. Okay, Jollies, the hairline is completely done. Obviously I left that hole because that's where the parting will be. So now I'm going to, actually, to move things forward, I'm going to do the whole reboot, and then I'll thatch the hair, and I'll show you how I do the thatching of the hairline, because that's the important bit that probably I wasn't very clear. Okie dokie, Jolly Dollies, she is fully rooted now, apart from the hard line. And all I do, it's nothing secret. It's not that complicated. What I tend to do is I will plug all the way up to here, where that joint is, with just normal plugs. And then when I do the parting here, because I like my partings to start from here, so this will fall to the back. So I'll plug away up to here, and then the way I do my partings is I'll plug to one direction, and then I'll use another plug and I'll put it in the same hole to the opposite direction, and that's all it is. It's nothing more than that. So I'm going to start plugging. So I'm going to find my first plug, and this hair gets bushy. Can we see? It's so not easy to do on camera. So let's just get my first plug in. So that one's in, and now I'm going to do the same up to here, and then I will show you once again how I do the part. Okay? Also, sometimes depending on the style that I'm going for, or depending on how much my plugs are in density, I might just put 2 plugs in the same hole as well, so it fills up that space, if that makes sense. But it's up to the individual on how they want to do it. If you feel like it's enough hair to cover all of that with one plug, then you can do that. You can also go by feel as well. I tend not to do my plugs too thick nowadays, so it doesn't split the hair, or it doesn't split the scalp. So, and I'm alternating the colors, so I'll put one light one, then I'll do a dark one. But that's pretty much it. So I'll just plug away up to here, and then we'll do the parting, okay? Okay, Jollies, now that we've reached the top of the joint, we can now start dividing the hair. So I'm just going to put a plug on each side. Normally I do one side first, and then I do the other side. So let me show you how. Okay, Jollies, so that's the first plug, and I'm going to do it until I reach the front, and then we'll do the other side. Okay, Jolly, so one side is done. I put a hair in a little scrunchie just to keep it out of the way and to keep it nice and flat. And now all I'm going to do is put plugs this way. So it gives you a pretty much seamless parting. At least that's how I do it. There's other people that pack a bit more hair into the parting, and then they use a pintail comb to separate the hair in the middle, but I prefer to do it this way. It's a bit more work, but it works for me, and that's how I do it. Okay, so here's the first plug that I did, which was pretty much like I found the same plug that I did on this side, and I just inserted another one going the opposite direction, and that's pretty much it. And there you have it, Jollies. That's how I do my partings. So again, to go back, I will do one side. I'll do a plug. I'll do a set of plugs on the hairline going one direction, and then I will use another row of plugs in the opposite direction with the same holes. Do be careful when you do that. Try not to make your plugs too thick, and if you need to make them quite small, and then if you need to pack a bit more hair, you can always add one or two more, just so it avoids stressing the vinyl and creating splits, because that's how you can get splits on your parting. So also, if you are new to it, might be worth to get some liquid tax glue. I think it's called liquid tax, and apply it on the hair, on the parting itself before you do your reroot, because that strengthens the vinyl. So a layer or two might be good for it. So now that that's done, I usually just wrap the hair into the hairband with the parting as it is, and then I will do my heat styling. I will grab my hair dryer and I'll style it, and then I usually shampoo it, condition it, and let it air dry, as you've seen in previous videos or in the videos of the mermaids that I did. And that's pretty much it. It's not complicated. It's not a secret how I do it. It's just that's my way of doing my partings, and they've worked so far for me. So hope that helps. And when we get back, our hair is going to be smoothed, and we can get on with the styling. For this particular doll, I'm still thinking if I'm going to give it the same haircut that I did, because I've got another reroot planning right after this one, and we will see. We will see. I'm not going to say too much, but we will see, because I think this really might be a good doll to sell. Yeah, because I do sometimes I do reroots and I sell them. So yeah, I might put this one for sale. We'll find out in the end. All right. Well, that is it. When we get back, the hair will be smoothed. We can either trim it and all that stuff, put it on the body, and then see what else we can do. Okay?